What up, dog?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right.
So we have reached episode 4. Can you believe it?
Yes. Halfway through?
Halfway through the season?
Halfway through the season.
Yes.
Yes. We thank y'all for
continue to hang with us.
That's right.
Yes.
Subscribing.
Yeah.
Sharing.
Y'all have been some great best friends.
That's right.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. All right. You know, we are halfway through our season. This is episode 4, and we hope that you've enjoyed the season so far, and what we've planned for the season for you guys. So we're excited to jump into this new episode where we are talking about the economy. Yes. And not that it's the economy's fault that things are not working.
Right.
I think the economy didn't change the game.
Right.
The economy changed the rules.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of rules that we got to adapt to.
Yeah.
Bunch of changes that we have to adapt to make sure that, we stay afloat. You know what I'm saying? That we are sustainable, that we are building on our legacies, that we are going forth with what, our passions are, what God has placed before us, and all of that good stuff like that. So let's jump on in it. Let's jump on in it, Tiffany.
Everybody, they just keep talking about this economy, is the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They keep saying it is.
Yeah.
It feels like it, though.
It definitely feels like it. It definitely feels like it. But the truth of the matter of fact.
Right.
Is that the economy is not breaking our businesses.
Correct.
What it's doing is exposing the things that we could be doing better and how we can change up our game plan.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about being catering to the economy. It's about making sure that we are built with pressure that is going to turn that coal into a diamond. Absolutely. So, it's about handling business under pressure.
Yeah.
And it's under pressure.
And it's definitely showed the weak from the strong.
Yeah. If you haven't watched episode 1, go back to episode 1. Then catch on up to this episode.
Absolutely.
But, the economy is not what's rocking us.
Right.
It's about having, solid foundation.
Yep, that's true.
So, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we'll be right back. So we're back, and today we are talking about the reality of the economy and not panicking under what's going on within the economy, not fearing what's going on in the economy, and that is very hard. And I know that we're saying that like it's just a slice of butter with a knife, but we have to have some confidence in our business as business owners that we can survive anything that's going on within this economy, and that we can stay afloat and continue to serve our clients and our customers the best way that we know how. And so we want to make sure that we understand that things are shifting.
Yeah.
And we have to shift too.
Absolutely.
We got to shift too. And those shifts are rules. The things that were yesteryear, 2 years ago. If you've been in business, in the 2008 era when we had a recession and all of those things, all of those change the rules of business. The recession in 2008, the pandemic in 2019 and 20 and 21.
That was a lot of years back to back.
Those things changed
because it wasn't just like 1 year.
No,
it was like multiple.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah, and that was rough.
Very
rough for businesses.
We went through a lot with our businesses.
Yeah,
and some didn't even survive it.
Yeah, and this wasn't just national economy. That was global.
Yeah, that
was global, and I mean, So let's talk about what's changed.
Like what's really changed.
Yeah, what's changed.
So, of course, cost has increased. A lot of people are still having to rely like on capital and stuff like that, trying to get like maybe like capital loans and stuff like that. And of course, consumer spending, it has changed as well.
Yes.
Because people can't.
They don't have
They don't have the source of income to be able to buy like normal stuff that they normally purchase every day.
Right. Or the luxuries.
Yeah, the
You know,
luxuries.
the luxuries.
You know.
Some of these services that we provide and products we provide are luxuries, right?
Right. So, you know, we relied on like so many different things. Like the old ways is not there no more. So a lot of stuff has changed, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So even with the capital shift, like a lot of lenders, they not giving the money that they used to give.
Yeah.
You know?
They're scrutinizing your records and your finances.
Right.
And they are not scared to tell you no.
And we got to be careful. The ones that are out there, we got to be careful because some of that stuff is fraud.
Do you know?
Oh my God.
Do y'all know how many loan
right
and now loan companies that are saying, hey, yeah, we got this $35,000 loan for you. We got a $50,000 loan. I think I'm at like $75,000 on the loan that I never asked anybody for.
Right.
That people call me all day long.
Right.
Spam is my new boyfriend. Hey, boo.
And I'm going to tell you another one. You will see the people, these companies are now sending, they're not real checks in the mail.
Wow.
It's saying if you cash this, then that, of course, that will lock you into a loan with them.
Without
and it's
no
not
paperwork?
No, it's not a real check.
I understand that.
But what I'm saying is, I've seen where people have, like, they have deposited the checks in their bank account. I know some people that have done that. And of course, they don't, like, you don't need to do that because that's fraud. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not real money.
Anybody send you a check for a loan in the mail, and you have not filled out any paperwork, you ain't put your EIN or your social security number on there, baby, that's not real.
It's not.
That's not real.
Because they're saying this could be you. This could be your loan. That's what it says on the checks. I kid you not. Because they know you have a business. So I think they get like a database. Because what they'll do.
Scammers on high.
And they probably are getting that stuff from like the Secretary of State, websites and stuff.
I'm sure.
I have a feeling that's how they're getting your information.
Because that's public record.
Right, it's public record.
That stuff is not private.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'd have to have a registered agent that is not attached to your business to file for your stuff under the Secretary of State, but you still end up having to put your personal information on that thing.
So yeah, that's like, it's not like you going to like the bank or something or something like that to get a loan. Or just absolutely getting it from a reputable company.
Those things have changed.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Because you're getting stuff in the mail that's fictitious. And if you deposit it or even call about it, you might mess your whole business up.
Man.
They could take over your bank account. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. If you put that in the bank or whatever, then your bank account messed up and then you gotta regroup and try to go get with another bank, and then they may tell you, no, we can't even. The
FDIC is, baby,
this is
crazy. Mess up a business account if you want to. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. People are doing that. Companies are doing that, and that's not good. And these are like fraudulent companies that are doing this kind of stuff.
Wow.
And taking over people's bank accounts and messing them up.
So you said, costs is increased. Consumer spending is changed.
Yeah. And capital is shifting and stuff like that. So it's not, you're not able to get the real capital that you need to operate and stuff like that. So because of all these scams, you're trying to duck and dodge scams, and you like,
don't know what's legit.
I'm just trying, I'm trying to get a normal.
It ain't legit.
Like, I'm trying to just get normal capital to keep my business afloat, and I gotta duck and dodge scams every 5 minutes.
Man.
So
I would say what I've seen that's changed is that consumers are being more intentional about their spending.
Yeah.
There are some recession-proof industries in the world. You know, laundromats, daycare services, beauty in general, specifically hair and barber.
That's true. Yeah.
But consumers are being more intentional. The disposable income that they once had to spend on luxury goods, or even, though that money is being sucked up by just buying groceries and taking care of your business and taking care of your bills and things like that. So people are spending differently.
They are. They're being more cautious of what they're spending their money on.
Yes.
Because you got to. Because once cash is gone, that's it.
Yes.
You know? Man.
Gone.
That part.
Gone are the days where people really have disposable income because,
right.
People are just being more strategic about how they're spending. And as business owners, we have to make sure that the offerings that we have, the services that we're providing, the products that we have are worth the spend.
Absolutely.
In the marketing and consulting world, we have to make sure that we're meeting those pain points. These are things that people feel like they can't live without.
Yeah.
And there are services and products that people can live without,
Absolutely.
There's tons of things,
Right.
From going on vacation to going out to eat, to a number of things, buying the clothes or buying certain brands that they are used to and things like that. So those things are things that we have to adapt to because those rules are changing for us as business owners.
Right.
And, those rules, once the rules change, they're kind of permanent. It's hard to say that things go back to what they used to be after there's been so much devastation in the economy.
Yeah.
Right.
With the economy.
So when you think about the economy, and I think about the economy, what things is the economy? What things are? I don't know. Don't get me wrong. What things is the economy exposing for business owners?
Exposing for businesses? Yeah. I would definitely say it's showing the weak businesses out there, because you have a lot of companies that they know that they're, they got all of their stuff or whatever. They're keeping their finances straight and things like that. And they've been staying on their budgets and everything like that. Then you got some companies, they be about to lose their mind with this economy right now. They just like, I don't even know how I'm going to make it. I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills, and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, did you budget? Like, did you create a budget? Did you have a savings plan? Did you have anything saved? And stuff like that.
Why are you looking so confused?
I mean, that's like when people be talking to me, I be looking like that sometimes. Like,
oh my goodness,
I be like thinking, I be in deep thought, because when people ask me questions, I be like,
judgmental looking.
I don't be judging. I don't be judging them. But I be like,
I'm just playing, y'all.
Yeah, no, I'm not judging them. I just really
is thinking about it.
Nah, seriously, because I think what it is, like when people ask me questions, I kind of like almost you put yourself in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? Because you like, hold on, if this was my company,
what would I do?
What would I do?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I always have to do that because I get a lot of questions, and I be like, wow, okay. And sometimes I be like, you did that? Ooh, I don't know if I would have did that, but but you have to. But
business can be risky.
It's very risky.
Business can be risky.
Yep, it's very risky. So yeah,
I would say that the economy has exposed businesses that don't have flexibility.
That's true.
That are not able to adapt
to the changes
that are coming, or the changes that are here. Maybe 4 years ago, your business might have been flourishing very well. No lack of revenue, no lack of profit. And now, in current year, things have changed. And so the rules have changed on how you need to strategize, how you need to prepare and forecast, being conservative in your projections is probably going to be good. But also, having some flexibilities when things change, just like in life, we got to adapt.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to adapt, that's going to hurt your business. And another thing that I've been seeing that the economy has exposed is businesses without strong value propositions. These are value propositions is a thing that you are uniquely known for in your business. Tiffany and I can both be accountants, or Tiffany and I can both be consultants. But what makes my business different from Tiffany's business is not the value that I bring to my customers. It's the position, how I position myself in my industry, and how I am different, how I differentiate myself from my competition. What am I offering that they're not offering that they're going to keep people loyal to my business and loyal to my brand? So the economy has exposed businesses that are just in business to make money and not in business to give value.
That says a lot. Yeah. That value piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's crazy because I remember I was dealing with a software company that first introduced me to the value piece of, of my business. Mm-hmm. And I said,
this is a different software company than the last episode. John.
No, yeah, totally different. But this was when I'm dealing with like the accounting side because that's a huge area that a lot of people don't think about because the bookkeeping and accounting piece of it, you have to bring value for your clients because it's a lot of accountants out here that does, accounting and bookkeeping and services or whatever. But you have to think about what am I going to do different than the person down the street or wherever. Because I have clients, all over. So I have to always think about, okay, in order for me to... Yeah, no, seriously. So in order for me to... So silly. In order for me to keep my clients engaged and wanting to come back to me and, and stuff like that and trust me to do more things and don't fail them at my decisions, and stuff like that. Because I thought about a lot of that last year when I saw the economy. It's almost like I foresaw it, and I was like, this economy about to be bad.
Yeah.
So I had to...
You can just see...
I had to ramp up my value, and
Yep.
I had to think about different things to offer the clients. Even when I was doing my proposals, I was like, you know what? I got to really bring it next year. Before next year gets here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I don't, I'm going to lose that client.
Right. It's about the uniqueness of your business.
Exactly, the uniqueness.
The uniqueness.
Right.
Like people can go to any accountant. People can go to any business consultant. People can go to any hairdresser or any barber or places like that. But what keeps you coming back to the people that you've chosen is that there is something unique about them.
Exactly.
That is different than the person next door, the person down the street. You could go all the way on the other side of town. In Tiffany's business, she has clients all over the world. Right. So, to choose Tiffany means that there is something unique about her.
Right.
And about her business that keeps people coming back. Loyalty is everything, especially right now in this economy.
Yeah.
So, another thing that I've been seeing is that businesses are constant, like the economy is exposed businesses that are constantly in motion instead of in strategy.
Okay, I got you.
So that, what that means is that, a business is, I got to make this money to make the ends meet. And not being strategic about, hey, this is my plan for quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and 4. This is how I want to get here. These are the goals that I have set. Once I reach this, then I can do this. It's all about strategy. But if you're in constant motion because, hey, I got, $10,000 worth of bills in my business that I need to pay, or I got $5,000 or $2,000 in my business that I need to pay. I'm just working to get the bills paid.
Just existing.
And people do that not only in business, but in life, too. Yeah. So the economy is exposing that on both sides of the fence, in your business and in your personal life. Right. And so, it's almost sad to see where we are in the economy and how much changing and adapting that we have to do to adapt to the new rules that are part of that are in play right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's across the board. So those are things that I've seen when it comes down to what the economy has been exposing, And
it got exposed. Shoot, 2020 exposed a lot.
Yeah. But
it exposed a lot.
It exposed a lot, but we also were on lockdown.
We were on lockdown
worldwide.
No, that's true. We were on lockdown, but I'm gonna tell you though, hate to say it, but some of the stuff that it exposed needed to be exposed. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's almost like a reset.
Yeah, it was like a reset. I think it allowed people to honestly sit back and think.
Yeah.
And say, should I keep continuing to move in this direction? Like, what do I need to change? Because I feel like I need to change something. You know what I'm saying? Because I know even when now I ain't gonna lie, when we was in the pandemic, we was constantly moving because people, they needed our services. Yeah. And I didn't realize it until I literally sat through that whole pandemic and was just like, oh my God. I was like, I know we in a pandemic, but I'm not freaking out. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't freak out. But I know a lot of people did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Especially a lot of service-based businesses, because if you had a brick and mortar or, during that time, there was no way for you to actually service your clients. Like, if you were a personal trainer, you could adapt. You could do virtual classes. Yeah. But if you are hands-on, like chiropractor,
you couldn't.
Or, you are in aesthetics business or something like that, the adapting it was very hard for those businesses. Exactly. And a lot of those businesses did not survive.
They didn't.
Because they could not actually put their hands on their clients.
That's true. Yeah.
So when you think about the things that have changed and what we've been researching and understanding about what's going on in the economy now, what things do you think people can do to adapt to the new rules?
To the new rules? Yeah. I would say they definitely need to, first they need to get their financial planning straight first too. Okay. Especially with all of these, with a lot of stuff going on. Because a lot of people don't even plan financially at all.
They just day to day, check to check.
Exactly.
Customer to customer.
Yeah. And it goes on to what we talked about earlier, not earlier, but at the other episode that we did. We definitely need to plan. We got to plan more. We got to do to-do lists and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said it's a lot of stuff that people need to do to be able to adapt to all the different changes and stuff like that.
Okay, so you said have a financial plan.
Definitely have a financial. Every year you need a financial plan. Yeah. Every year you need one.
I would say on the business standpoint, as far as consulting and marketing, as a business owner, understanding the new reality of the market.
That too.
So your target market may still be your target market, but they may not be spending as much as they used to.
That's true.
And they may, instead of coming to your business or getting something monthly from you, you may need to adapt to the reality that, hey, maybe I need to offer a pack that is a quarterly pack for my client, where I'm still getting the monthly money, but I'm not getting it monthly, I'm getting it quarterly, and I'm still being able to reach my my revenue goals.
Yeah, my revenue goals.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one way to adapt, is understanding the reality of the new market and what's going on with consumer spending. That's going to take research. You're not going to be able to just be like, oh, well, customers are not coming in. Why aren't customers coming in? Why aren't customers purchasing from your website? Why aren't they reaching out for your product or your service? And, what is the reality of what's going on with consumers today? I think that's something that you should always do. It's like a reevaluation of your target market.
That's great that you say that, because I did that last year.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Because I had to reevaluate, my target market, because I like to deal with small business owners. So I had to reevaluate all the products that I provide, for my clients. I had to recreate all my packages.
Okay.
Because normally I segment the packages. I may just do, the accounting services and that's it, and then charge tax services as a whole nother pricing. But I kind of combined a lot of stuff together and made it more affordable for some of the clients that normally don't even get a monthly package.
Okay.
Because I felt like that was kind of pushing a lot of the clients that normally get that pricing, because I kept saying, I said, well, they may not even come in this year because I felt like the economy was, so messed up. And I was like, wow. I was like, I got to adapt to this economy, and I need to help these clients out to keep them coming in the door, because I don't want them to be like, I'm not going to get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, it's very easy for, as a business owner, for you to try to take on that task yourself.
Yep.
And some people can do that, and some people are not equipped to do that. So, understanding, the reality of your market and what you need to be offering to your clients to keep them coming in the door. I would say another point would be to understand that you have to adjust your expectations.
Yeah, that too.
Of the market and what's currently going on. So adjusting your expectations will help you not feel so defeated when things are not going right.
Right.
I use that in my personal life. Like, I try my best to manage expectations so that I'm not disappointed in much of anything that's going on in my personal life. And I also have to do that in my business life, because consulting is not guaranteed that you're going to keep a client for years and years.
Not me either.
I'm thankful that I do have clients that continue to sign on, but I've had clients that, just did a 6-month retainer. I have clients that I just want to do a 6-month retainer with.
Right.
So, managing my expectations. So in this economy, we have to manage our expectations and be more realistic with ourselves about what's really going on in our business, and with how we bring in revenue into our business.
Yeah. Have to really think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah. You got to manage your expectations, man.
Yeah, you do.
We never know,
because your expectations might be real high, and you be like, hold on, I just gotta bring them down just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And that's not lower, some people are like, I'm lowering my standards.
Yeah.
No, that's not that. It's not that. Being realistic about what is actually going on in the economy.
With the economy.
That is sustainability.
Yeah.
That is understanding how to be sustainable when the economy is a little questionable.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially with people losing jobs and stuff. Yeah.
Left and right.
Yeah, because they can't afford you. Seriously, honestly, no more.
Right.
Things
are changing.
Because, that's just I even was, doing check-ins with clients that I know have lost jobs, know?
That's a good thing to do.
No, seriously, because my...
That's another value, though, that you're bringing to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I had seen a client earlier in the year, and she was telling me that when one of our major hospitals had shut down, she said, your dad was the first person to call me. I said, wow.
Wow.
I said, that says a lot about a person. You know what I'm saying? And she said the first person that called me, and he didn't ask her, so what are you going to do?
Right.
He just said, how are you doing?
There you go.
And I said, you know what?
That's a check-in.
That's a good check-in, because that kept her coming to him and now to me. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that.
The loyalty right there. I was up there blown away. Because a lot of people don't think that just that small just check-in with somebody goes a long way. Goes a long way. Yep.
I would say another point in how to adapt is, I mentioned sustainable in the last point. So we're going to go on sustainability over speed. Right? We don't have to be in a rush to get there.
Right.
Being sustainable will keep clients coming in the door, even in questionable times. Keeping the value current, keeping the value, adapting to what clients need in the value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
That's true.
Yeah.
They may not need all of what they were getting before, but if you can, like you said, you reworked your packages for clients to make sure that they were worth the value. And they understood that coming back to you at the price that you set is still going to get them everything that they need plus some.
And plus some. Right.
And not in the speed. Like, hey, I need all my money up front. No, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to, be on this journey with you because things have changed.
Absolutely.
And because things have changed, my rules have had to change in order to stay sustainable. So, being Speedy Gonzalez may get you money fast.
Right.
But will it last?
That's true too. And you know what else I did too? I offered payment options because flexibility in the payment options, because it may have been clients that used to could pay that invoice in full, but because of the economy changes, it's not like that anymore. They're like, well, hey, can I get a little extra time, or can you break that invoice into maybe 2 or 4 payments, you know, and you know, that comes in the, like I said, knowing that's a lot of growth with that, because a lot of people can't do that. They be like, no, once again, I need my
money up front,
right? Like, no, or they say, no, I need it all right now.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, no, we could kind of budge a little bit. We can change it. You know, I don't have to have it all at one time. Right. You know, I had to think about it. Like you said, I had to adjust.
Yeah. And
I had to say, hey, you know, I may not get it all up front right now, but I could get it here, get maybe, you know, this month or that quarter, you know, and stuff like that.
Making it easy for the client to
stay loyal.
Yeah.
And to stay with me, because they could have said, well, I can go to such and such and they can give me that flexibility. But, you know, if I would have said no, then they probably would have been like, well, I'm sorry, I can't even come to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I get it, you know.
And another way to adapt is, and how to adapt when the economy is being a little funky, is resilience in operations.
Right.
Like making sure that your operation is together.
Yeah, together.
You know, making the adjustments that you need to make in the back end, because consumers don't really know what's going on in the back end, and a lot of times they don't really even care. They want the product, they want the service, and they want it now. So how do we, you know, go from having a full staff to having maybe a part-time staff, or even down to only being you to still fulfill services and orders and things like that without it being any hiccup to the front end, which is the customer. Like they're not delayed on things that they're getting. That all goes in refining your operations to be more resilient in the time when the rules are changing.
Yeah. And you probably could do like a virtual staff. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of having a staff, like if you have someone coming in, it can. So you're not having to have them come to your location or something. Yeah. Have someone do virtual stuff for you. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. A lot of that helps, you know, especially when you are in a service-based business and you're depending on leads to meet your revenue goals. You may have to hire a virtual assistant, which would be cheaper than having a physical person in. You're still, you know, giving into the economy, because small business owners are the number one job source in this country. You're still able to fulfill those things. But just making changes in your operations to make sure that you can, you know, get through any of the low parts of the valley. You know what I'm saying? So that when the peak comes again, that you're ready, you can adapt, you can hire more. You can do the things that you need to do to continue to providing that A1 service that you're used to providing for your clients.
Yeah, so, that is true.
You know, those are ways to adapt. So it's 4 ways to adapt. It's understanding that your market may be changing.
Absolutely.
And the reality of the market is that, hey, my ideal clientele, my ideal target market, consumer buying habits are changing.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing. The second thing is adjusting your expectations. Making sure that you are being realistic with yourself about what's going on now, and doing the proper research and preparing for what's coming down the line. Even though we may not know, we know that things are not technically looking up at the present time.
Absolutely.
So if we are still at a decline, or we are coasting on the same level, that we are, you know, managing our expectations when it comes to our brands and business and how we're going to get the money in.
Exactly.
The third point is focusing on sustainability over speed.
Yeah.
Don't be so fast.
Yeah. Always rushing.
Rushing to get
rushing
the way
to do
we're
stuff.
going.
All the time.
Man, sustainability. That's the race. That's the race. Not getting there fast.
Exactly.
It's staying in long. It's staying in for the long journey. It's continuing to build loyalty, to continue to have brand awareness. All of those things.
All of those
very
things.
important.
Yep, very important.
And then the fourth one is building resilience in your operations.
Yeah.
Fine tuning your operations.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Hey, fine tuning. You might have to take your full-time person to part-time. Or find ways to say,
you might not like it, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Or saying, hey, we can do hybrid, or we can do those things like that if you still need to have the staff in play, or if you need to outsource like an on-demand shipping and drop shipping and things like that. All of those things still help your operations, stay intact through changes, through rule changes, right?
Right.
So, let's talk about some takeaways.
Okay.
What you got for us?
Just know your numbers and your cost structure. Definitely.
Okay. Why is that important?
Because you need to know what you're working with, and you need to know like what's going out. You need to know what's coming in, what's going out.
That's right.
Because if you don't know that, you definitely gonna not survive. So yeah, you definitely have to know that.
Yeah. So know your numbers.
Know your numbers.
Adjust your budget.
Yes.
Everything's fluid.
Yes.
Everything's fluid. It's not locked in. If you say that, hey, I need to make $500,000 in revenue, and things change, and you have to adapt. If you don't make that $500,000, but you're still, profiting a good profit, your profit margins are still good, that's still a win.
Yeah.
You might not hit that revenue.
You might not hit it.
Because things are changing.
Yeah.
So you might have to adapt to those changes.
Because I know I had to change like that, like before the new year came in, like things that people that I thought would have probably secured a contract, they just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had to tweak it and be like, you know what? Instead of going for that customer, let me try this customer, and it worked. Yep.
But that's you going back to the reality of your target market.
Right. Because I kept saying, I was like, well, I just knew that client was going, be able to do it. But unfortunately, they had lost so much, from the prior year that it was like they couldn't do it.
Yep. So you had to adjust.
Exactly.
Yeah, you had to
adjust. Because, I mean, I saw that client always, bringing in, coming in and signing the contracts and ready to move full speed ahead, but it was like I couldn't do nothing about. I couldn't force the person. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't.
I couldn't be like, you gonna do this?
Well, you can't magically make no money up here.
Like you gonna do this? And I was like, no, I'm not. I can't do that. I'm not gonna bully the client. You know what I'm saying?
You'll end up losing them in the long run.
Exactly.
But when things get better, that client may come back around.
And then they even said like, this is not me. I said, I know. I said, I'm not worried about it. I said, we'll just do some check-ins.
Yeah. And it's okay to do check-ins. That's one thing that people find very very valuable, even if they haven't signed on as a retainer or signed a contract for you, is to, to know that you still care, even if they're not part of your client portfolio anymore.
Right. And I even offered to monitor their stuff. Like, I was like, I said, I tell you what, still upload like bank statements or something like that inside my portal. And I said, I'll monitor it, but I'm not going to, give you the full-fledged service if someone is paying a retainer. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'll just monitor to make sure that you not doing anything crazy with your spending. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's kind of what I did. Yeah. Like I told them, I said, still give me your stuff. And you know what they told me? As soon as the business pick back up, I will make sure to reach back. They said, I will make sure that I send you a payment. I said, hey, I'm okay with that.
I will be back. That is loyalty to its core. That is giving value, even in times when the customer may not have the funds money to retain your services.
Right.
So that is making sure that you're building a business that can adjust. It's not just about the good times.
It's not.
It's about the hard times. It's about the rough times. It's about the ugly cries.
Right.
Because we have them, boy. As a business owner, boy, we can have them ugly cries.
Ugly times.
You know what I'm saying? And you know me, I'm a gangster. But I do have them ugly cries, boy, in the car, in the shower. Woo! The reality is that, things are changing. We cannot avoid when things are changing. And we just have to be able to adapt to those changes.
Right, we have to.
And, that's a lovely thing about growth, though.
Right.
Growth as a business owner, growth as a brand, revamping, pivoting, all of that is part of what's going on.
Yeah, you got to know how to adjust and stuff.
So that you can adjust.
Yeah, because, that's understandable. It happens so much. You'd be like, ooh.
It's, something, this episode here is one that is probably going to pull at some heartstrings of some of our viewers, and it's purposely put this way.
Right.
We want you to think about it. We want you to be intentional about it. We want you to know that even in where we are in the economy. You may be having a dark time.
Right.
You might even actually be having a great time.
Absolutely.
And making really good money in this economy. But for those of us who may be struggling to adjust,
right,
struggling to understand the reality, maybe you made, $800,000 last year, and this year,
right,
you're not pacing at that same level. Just know, don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up.
Sometimes you have to take a step back and look at the rules that you've played by and create some new rules that can help sustain your business in the long run.
All right. That's true.
Closing up this episode, what do you want to say to the people?
Well, we just got to understand the rules and just understand what's really going on with our businesses and stuff. Because, it's going to be some trying times, but we just got to build differently, Yeah. We can't just still focus on the past. Yes. We got to build differently so we can make sure our future is going to sustain all of this stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. It is okay. We got the foundation.
Right.
Sometimes we got to do some renovations. Right? So it's nothing wrong with adjusting,
right?
Making changes, doing all the things that are necessary to keep you intact with your business. Right. So, don't let the economy get you down.
No, do not.
Right?
Yeah, don't let it get you down.
Take a step back.
All right.
Take a deep breath.
Right.
And come at it with a different strategy. Different strategy might be different rules.
Right.
But we are building our businesses to survive anything that comes to us. So lock in. Lock in.
All right.
Lock in. Get some clarity, and make sure that you are not allowing the economy to tell you whether your business is going to survive this year or not.
And don't let it tear you down.
That's right.
Don't let it tear you down mentally.
Oh, bingo.
Because it can tear you down if you get so wrapped up in the fact that you looking at what's going on with the economy and you're not going to stay focused. Yeah, you can. You won't stay on focus on what you're trying to do and accomplish as a business owner, and stuff like that. So
that's our episode for y'all. Hopefully it wasn't too hot and heavy, or too heavy.
Right.
Not necessarily hot, but heavy. And we just want you guys to know that if you have any questions, any concerns about your business, want to do a consultation, Tiffany and I both are here. We definitely do consultations. We'll sit down and talk with you about your business.
Absolutely.
And where you are. And if you are looking to retain our services, we are here to do that as well.
Right.
But, you can reach out to me through my website at www.lfdconsults.com. I do consultations on Fridays for new clients or people who are just trying to get some little guidance. It's not always about the dollars. It's definitely about making sure that we as entrepreneurs are surviving out here in these streets.
Right. That is true.
Tell people how they can reach you.
All right. If you guys need to reach me and need a consultation, I'm usually available on Tuesdays or Fridays. You can reach me at www.checkandbalancefirm.com.
All right.
And I'm here for you.
I know that's right. So, hey, subscribe, like, share with another business owner. Make a comment, y'all.
Right.
Let us know how we're doing. If there's anything that you guys want us to focus in on future episodes, please, feel free to drop it in the comments, and we will definitely review it and see how we can fit that into an episode or two. Thank you for tuning in with us. As always, we appreciate you here at Take Account of Podcast. I'm Latoya Dixon, your business psychologist and a consultant.
And I'm Tiffany Wilson, your enroll agent.
Peace.
Peace.